Hello everyone, I am Dr. Manas Kumar Das, Director, Orlean College of Pharmacy, Greater Noida. Today, I will teach you pathophysiology of atherosclerosis. So, this is the subject pathophysiology, which the code is BP 204T. Today's lecture number 8 will teach you. The contents in this topic is definition, introduction, etiology, epidemiology, pathophysiology, stages of atherosclerosis, treatment and lifestyle factors. So, again I am telling you before starting that chapter, before the topic atherosclerosis, which is the last topic of this unit. So, what we studied earlier before coming to the atherosclerosis, we studied about the different kind of our homeostasis like positive feedback mechanism, negative feedback mechanism. We studied about the pathophysiology of cell injury, reversible as well as irreversible. We studied about the inflammation, their causes of inflammation, factors of inflammation, the mechanism of inflammation and wound healing and repair process by primary union as well as secondary union. So, on this all the background, today's topic is atherosclerosis. So, I will teach you the topic on the basis of this definition, introduction, etiology, epidemiology, pathophysiology, stages of atherosclerosis, treatment and lifestyle factors. So, first start with the definition. Atherosclerosis, that is a very common disease in today's world. Atherosclerosis is a pattern of the disease arteriosclerosis, in which the wall of the artery develops abnormalities called lesions. So, this is basically a wall of artery disease of the wall of artery, which develops abnormalities and called lesions. These lesions may lead to narrowing due to the build up of atheromatous plaque. Plaque means something formed which will narrow the passage, which will narrow the flow inside the vessels. So, these lesions may lead to narrowing due to the build up of atheromatous plaque. Initially, there are generally no symptoms. So, in the starting of this atherosclerosis, we cannot recognize or we cannot see any symptom in the patient. When severe, it can result in coronary artery disease, stroke, peripheral artery disease or kidney problems, depending on which arteries are affected. So, these are the different factors which are also responsible symptoms. If they occur, generally do not begin until middle age, generally it occurs after middle age only. Atherosclerosis is caused by plaque. What is plaque? This is the fatty deposits build up in the arteries. So, these deposits are made up of the cholesterol, fatty substances, cellular waste products, calcium and fibrin. So, these are the different composition of the plaques. So, plaques are actually fatty deposits, which are the factors which can cause the narrowing of arteries, which is called atherosclerosis. So, the plaques are formed by cholesterol, fatty substance, cellular waste products, calcium and fibrin. It is a chronic inflammatory disease of the arteries and is the underlying cause of about 50% of all deaths in westernized society. Westernized societies means where the food pattern, lifestyle is not healthy at all, means where the people take more junk food, fast foods, the people are not doing proper exercise and their lifestyle is also stressed, job is under stress. So, that all are the different factors which can cause atherosclerosis. So, this is a chronic inflammatory disease of arteries and is the underlying cause of 50% of deaths in westernized society. Despite major efforts to reduce the atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, which is also called ASCVD, atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, burdened with conventional risk factor control, significant residual risk remains. If we also we are also trying to reduce the risk factors, but still the significant residual risk which still remains. If we do all the things properly, our food, our lifestyle, all the things we do properly, still there are residual risk factors which is remaining. Recent evidences on non-traditional determinants of cardiometabolic health has advanced our understanding of lifestyle disease interactions. This is the etiology of atherosclerosis. Atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease ASCVD is of multifactorial etiology, means there are different factors which are responsible for the ASCVD. There is not a single factor or 2 or 3 factors. The most common risk factors includes there are different kind of factors which are enlisted here. First one is hypercholesterolemia. The cholesterol which is most responsible is LDL cholesterol, low density lipoprotein. Second one is hypertension. We know there are mainly two kinds, LDL and HDL. HDL is good for health and LDL is very bad, which can cause atherosclerosis, which can deposit in the small arteries. So, next one is hypertension, high blood pressure. This is a very much risk factor for the atherosclerosis. Diabetes mellitus, again a severe risk factor for the atherosclerosis and also very common. Millions of people are suffering from diabetes mellitus and they are having very high risk of atherosclerosis. Cigarette smoking, the smoking also aggravate the chances of atherosclerosis manifold. Age, male older than 45 years and female older than 55 years are more prone to atherosclerosis. Strong family history, male relatively younger than 55 years and female relatively younger than 65 years. They are having more strong history, they suffer from atherosclerosis. Sedentary lifestyle, obesity, uncontrolled body weight also responsible for the atherosclerosis. Diets high in saturated and trans fatty acids. Trans fatty acids are very much dangerous for our health. Certain genetic mutations. These all are the different etiology of ASCVD. ASCVD means atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, ASCVD. Next come to the epidemiology. Since atherosclerosis is a predominantly asymptomatic condition, it is difficult to determine the incidence accurately, because as I told you, atherosclerosis remains unidentified because the symptoms is not visible until unless it becomes severe. So, atherosclerosis is considered the major cause of cardiovascular disease. Atherosclerosis cardiovascular disease mainly involves the heart and brain, ischemic heart disease IHD and ischemic stroke. These all are the atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. IHD and stroke are the world's first and fifth cause of death respectively. So, you can imagine how risky it is. Ischemic heart disease, this is the first most cause of world deaths and the Stroke is the fifth most cause for the world deaths. Next, now come to the pathophysiology of atherosclerosis. So, atherosclerosis mainly develops through the continuous process of arterial wall lesions due to lipid retention by trapping in the intima by a matrix, that is proteoglycans, resulting in a modification which then aggravates chronic inflammation at vulnerable site in the arterioles. In the arteries, you see there is a normal artery and this is the artery with plaque buildup. These are the different plaques. So, what the plaques are doing? Plaques are narrowing the artery space. So, here see the blood was flowing properly, here the blood flow has been restricted, there is a deposition of formation of plaque here. Like this way, if it remains untreated, it can also block the artery tightly and there is no passage, no flow of blood. So, the tissues which will be deprived of the blood means oxygen and nutrients will be damaged, will be necrosed, and like this way it can cause death. So, atherosclerosis mainly develops through the continuous process of arterial wall lesions due to lipid retention by trapping in the intima of a matrix, that is proteoglycans, resulting in a modification which then aggravates chronic inflammation at vulnerable sites in the arteries. Vulnerable means where there is the deposition of this plaque. This is the vulnerable site. When there is some damage, when there is some obstruction of the flow of the blood. This plays an important role at all phases of the atherogenic progression. So, here see the systemic changes detected in atherosclerosis are closely similar in the aorta and the coronary and the carotid arteries. The continuous process of atherosclerosis is typically comprehended as an extended sequence of histologic developments or a series of different classes of lesions that may be visible to the unaided eye. So, means even without microscope also we can see the development. See here what are the different changes. This is the atherosclerosis, normal human artery, this is the artery narrowed by atherosclerotic plaque. Here in the normal artery, see the endothelium, this is there is nothing is there. Here you can see the smooth muscle. Now, here you see that is a narrowing and damaged endothelium, fibrous cap you can see, lipid, calcium, cellular debris we can see here. There are macrophages transformed into foam cells, these are the evaluation color. So, all the things are seen in the artery narrowed by atherosclerotic plaques. We can see different changes in the atherosclerotic plaque here. Now, come to the stages of atherosclerosis. First one, the fatty streak. The first stage of atherosclerosis can sometimes be found in children as young as 10 years of age. In this stage, a yellow streak appears along major arteries such as the aorta or carotid artery. So, in the minor children, even in the younger as 10 years of old, you can see some streak appears, yellow color streak, which is actually appears in the aorta and carotid arteries. This streak is made up of smooth muscle cells, cholesterol and macrophages, a type of white blood cells. Macrophages, you know, white blood cell type. The fatty streak phase alone does not cause any noticeable symptoms. but can progress into a more dangerous phase of atherosclerosis called a fibrous plaque. So, this is the fatty streak. Now, come to the fibrous plaque. A fibrous plaque develops within the inner layer of the vessel. This plaque is made up of smooth muscle cells, macrophages and lymphocytes, a more aggressive type of white blood cell. Why aggressive? Because lymphocytes are the defense factors of our body. They fight different antigens, that is why they are called the aggressive type of blood cells. A fibrous plaque develops within the inner layer of the vessel. This plaque is made up of smooth muscle cells, macrophages and lymphocytes. Second point, these cells have cholesterol inside of them. As the fibrous plaque grows, it begins to protrude into the vessel where the blood is flowing. So, this is the process. Number third is the complicated lesions. The final stage of atherosclerosis is defined when a dangerous series of events occur. The final stage of atherosclerosis is defined when a dangerous series of events occur. When the fibrous plaque breaks apart, it exposes the cholesterol and connective tissue underneath it. Then what happens? This event is recognized by the body as an injury and a team of blood clotting cells are sent to the scene, sent to the site. This becomes particularly dangerous because now the blood flow is being restricted by the initial blockage as well as the clot that has formed. So, when actually the atherosclerotic plaques breaks, then the more dangerous thing start happening, because it exposes the area and the blood clotting process gets started, which actually cause the clot formation. The ruptured plaque in combination with the blood clot is called a complicated lesion. The area is totally blocked, the blood vessel is totally blocked by plaque, ruptured plaque as well as the blood clot, which occur in the ruptured plaque area. Now, come to the treatment of the atherosclerosis. The best management of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, which is called the ASCVD, is to treat the risk factors such as elevated LDL-C, blood pressure, diabetes among others. So, if we can control these levels, low density lipoprotein, the blood pressure, the diabetes, then we can protect our bodies from the atherosclerosis. Also, all patients should be encouraged to exercise for 90 to 150 minutes and eat a healthy diet, low in saturated, red and processed meat or organ meats and the like. So, we should not take all these kind of things, and at least we should do 90 to 150 minutes, means 1.5 hour to 2.5 hour exercise daily. Avoid trans fats like baked goods, salt intake less than 5 grams per day. So, in the vegetables and in the other forms or whatever in the forms we are taking salt, it should not cross 5 grams per day. With enrichment in fibers, our food must be enriched in lots of fibers. Monosaturated fats, the fat should be monosaturated, not the trans fat, not the polysaturated. Fatty fish, fruits and vegetables. Fish is having lots of monosaturated fats and vegetables, fruits that we can take. Smokers should be encouraged to stop and be referred to a smoking cessation program. So, there are different kind of rehabilitation is available. So, smokers first they should be encouraged for quitting the smoking, and if it is not working, then they can be sent to some psychologist or some rehabilitation camp, and there are some medicines also available to quit the quit smoking. Then come to the physiotherapy. So, these all are the different kind of processes which will actually help in the best management of the atherosclerosis. Now come to the lifestyle factors. See, lifestyle factors means that includes different type of our lifestyle, like what I already told you, our food habit, our exercise habit, that must be controlled. So, see here chronic exposure to environmental stressors, that is poor diet quality, sedentarism like fixing or staying fixed house or not that much movement, ambient air pollution and noise, where we are staying, if the area is full of air pollution or noise pollution, that can also cause some unhealthy characteristics like atherosclerosis. Sleep deprivation, that will also in turn increase sleep and it will also cause atherosclerosis, and psychological stress. So, these are the different factors which we have to avoid, then only we can keep our body healthy and we can control or we can avoid such type of disease from our life, in our life. Chronic exposure to environmental stressors, it may be poor diet quality, what we have to avoid, sedentarism, ambient air pollution and noise, sleep deprivation and psychological stress. In the second point, what we can see, body composition versus body weight, suggesting that body mass index, that is BMI, can be an inadequate measure for assessing the effects of diet on health. So, sometimes it does not show actual thing. If somebody is having some bad food habit also, the BMI may be normal. So, it is not a actual parameter to access the body composition or body functioning. Now, next come to the cardiorespiratory fitness. So, physical inactivity and low cardiorespiratory fitness are cardiometabolic risk factors. So, if we are not working too strong to make our heart stronger, so we have to always do some fitness activity which involves cardiac as well as respiratory system. So, cardiorespiratory fitness activity is required to maintain our body or physique properly. Physical activity, particularly resistance training, affects body composition in a way that promotes an overall anti-inflammatory and anti-atherogenic potential. Diet, collectively for maintaining cardiovascular and overall health with plant and animal based whole food. So, these are the different lifestyle factors which we have to control to maintain our body healthy as well as to free from some threatening disease like atherosclerosis. So, again we can revise this treatment schedule irrespective of some medication and surgery and other things. There are some simple mechanism which we can follow to keep our body healthy. The best management of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease is to risk factor as to control LDL, blood pressure, diabetes, these things. A patient should be encouraged to do exercise for 90 to 150 minutes like 1.5 hour to 2.5 hours. Not take the red and processed meat, always take the healthy food, avoid trans fats like baked goods, salt maximum intake is restricted up to 5 grams per day. The food must be with enriched fibers, monosaturated fats like fatty fish and all. Smokers must be encouraged to quit smoking or attend some psychologist, physiotherapy if required. Then stress must be reduced, there must be proper sleeping, proper environment, pollution free environment to stay, physical activity is must. The exercise must be related to cardiorespiratory for the cardiorespiratory fitness, and diet collectively for maintaining cardiovascular and overall healthy and animal based whole food. So, these are the different lifestyle factors and some lifestyle mechanisms to keep our body fit, healthy and to avoid atherosclerosis. Thank you.